Alright, I know I usually don't live stream at this point in time, well I do on the weekends, but I thought that, need to get some information out, and, well, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I think that you guys should be a bit informed about it, because there's some stuff that's going to be happening soon. Lots of stuff. Most of it isn't that positive or good, really, but I think that it's just fair that you all know about it. Not like leaving, no, nothing like that. Just like, you know, stuff in general. Like my future plans and what's gonna happen during school and stuff like that, which already I can say this is probably one of my last streams that I'm gonna be inactive for quite a while. Considering that school's about to escalate up to like that point where I get homework every night, except for weekends, I'm pretty sure all my uploads are going to go downhill, / I'm going to start uploading once a week even possibly, if it gets to that point, which I don't want to resort to that, but I might have to, if it really gets that hard, which I don't plan it to, but probably will be like that during midterms and finals, because those are like the 2 exams that, you know, I need to pass. Because keep in mind, school is still like the thing I count. School is the most important thing right now. And even though I hate school and everything about it, it's still important. I might also go to the Anatole this weekend, but I don't know. I probably am also going to go to Vista Ridge, but I don't know for sure if I'm going there. But I do want to go there to get my good videos of the Sears Albier before that thing closes for good, because Vista Ridge, I don't think anything new is going to be opening. Yeah, I just killed GTS's stream. I don't know why. It seems like every time I go live, people just want to join, which also bad news for the people who like to join my streams. Those are gonna probably go down, if not stop, for a while, because school and the fact that I'm probably gonna be going to less places over the school year. I'm gonna try and go to more places, though you might just get more streams from the Anatole, because that's like my main focus right now too. Which I decided that I'm just going to be sending a letter to Otis's Dallas corporate branch and asking them if they have a panel. Because if Otis won't give it, I'm just going to escalate up until I get my panel, or at least something saying, oh, blah blah blah. Because I'm pretty sure the people at the headquarters are a lot nicer than the techs. Like, most of the time they're more open-minded down there. But then again, I have that thing. I don't know if I'm going to be going to Willow Bend very soon. I mean, it just depends, really, if I have time. At this point, I know I'm not getting homework over the weekends, thankfully. So you'll probably get one stream a weekend if I can try hard enough. It depends on where I go, / my weekend plans, because those change. I have a ton of parts. Nia, on the phone. No, I totally don't use my accent when I talk to my grandma. And I totally am not really good at mimicking an American accent. First of all, I have this Fujitech panel, which was donated by Fujitech themselves. Those push well, and I also have this thing, this Fujitech button. OPM is really busy. Oh, there's my favorite clock. I like that clock. There's my inch line, which smelled like cigarettes when I got it, and it was only $20, so I guess that's what I get. Really rare Dover buttons. Dover Classic VR. Dover contacts. There's that. This one I wired up to light up. Which I use the green LED because that's the only LED I had. But yeah, this one has wiring, this one didn't, so with my really shoddy electrician skills, I wired it up. There's my favorite Westinghouse button. I don't have the up button, unfortunately, but I might buy one of those from Adams. This button's nice. This was donated by ThyssenKrupp a few years ago. Came off a mod from an early Series 5. No, we don't have any bugs in my house. I like these two, Adams. Really cheap buttons. These are not Otis, they're knockoff. This is a dumbwaiter panel of some sort. Ooh. I have a Montgomery panel. Here's my Lexus panel, which doesn't have any guts, but it came from Fort Worth, donated by ThyssenKrupp. I bought this off eBay a while ago, US button. But I also have there's my editing computer slash my main computer, because if you don't know already, I'm an active user. This was bought off eBay. Otis black button. It needs help. There's my lantern, or one of my two lanterns. That's some Dover button. I have this car top. Which I know I got way too much stuff. And I'm not organized in any way either. There's my Westinghouse lantern, which, of course I like my Westinghouse lanterns. I also have the bell for my Westinghouse lantern. Which, it's a nice bell. It also has Westinghouse bulbs in it. Focus iPad. There we go. That one also says Westinghouse. It's not in my house. The guy at Chili Bowls at Collin Creek and Willow Bend at Moody Gardens, too, in the trash can. That Otis panel came off a modernization, which mine was also dated from 2005, which means that it was an early Series 5 that managed to get modernized by ThyssenKrupp. No idea where it came from, but hey, it's a ThyssenKrupp donation, and I'll take it. I really like my Fujitech button. It's a really nice piece. It's a bit messy behind. Definitely something of the 80s, which this came from 1985, so I'm not surprised. The key switch on this one is broken too. I really like this button. I actually pressed this button when it was still on the wall, though the elevator was already out for modernization. But it's of course since been completed, and this elevator also runs now. Yeah, I could. Also, I figured out my 16 button on this panel is a lot newer. That's a replacement of one of these, which on the back it is a rat's nest of wiring. There's my rat's nest of Fujitech wiring, and the rainbows. Now it is branded Fujitech somewhere. Yes, it is bent. It is definitely bent. This actually, so apparently with Fujitech, there's a brass plate that sits on top of this, and these buttons are attached to this thing. So Fujitech just pried this thing off and gave it to me rather than the whole piece of brass that it came with. So originally this thing was glued to a piece of brass, and it was pried off. And now sits in my room, which I plan to put something over it eventually. Though that's going to take a few years, knowing how I am. Well, yeah, I was sitting behind a piece of brass since 1985, which is when these things were made, so... This is probably the first time I've ever seen daylight since 1985. GTS, let's not mini-mod, since, your name doesn't seem to have that wrench by it. Maybe because I don't employ that many moderators, and I only got one. But that's another story for another day. GTS, remember, this is not your stream. Also on the elevators, it would have a sticker right here that said 3rd floor Galleria Mall, since it was connected to Galleria. Which I still need to make the before and after video for this modernization project, but hey, at least I got parts. Which, of course, I like my Fujitech buttons. Also, apparently, I think OPM really wanted these. I think he did. But since I was the one who sent the note, I think we all know who got them. Textseller, stop retracting your messages, otherwise you're just gonna get kicked off the stream. Just stop it. Also, I don't know what you just tried to say. Are you saying you own GTS's account? Since I don't think that works that way. But really though, you're just gonna get timed out if you keep doing it. Plus, we can always view your messages even after the stream ends, so it's not like it matters. Because keep in mind, I don't delete my streams, so... No, we're not stalking anyone's GTS. No one's stalking anyone in here. No cussing. You're timed out. No cussing whatsoever. There's absolutely no cussing on my streams. I'm sorry, but you can't cuss on my streams. That's inappropriate behavior. Okay, now that he's gone. Well, yeah, for further reference, if anyone cusses, they're just gonna get removed from the stream immediately. I don't tolerate any cussing on my stuff. But, yeah, so my updates. My uploads are probably gonna go down. I have scheduled like 2 weeks worth of uploads. I don't even have 2 mods. I only have 1. And the reason why I have 1 mod is because, well, I don't really need that many. We got a lot of stuff to do on IES. I got tons of stuff. And updates have now been slow due to school starting. But hey, at least I have my Otis scan. Though this is not going to help. Otis Micro Touch. Arm buttons are fun to press. I really like that button too. I don't play Steam games. I don't really like Steam games that much. This is not my thing. I like these two. I like Adams. I do not like these. These are cheap. But hey, at least I got this. The battery must have gone flat. I see what happened. This wire came loose. I do have a Westinghouse bell. Okay, there we go. Now it lights up. Sees the light up button. I wired it up to light. Then I have the really rare Dover buttons and inch line. This is one of my favorite pieces. And this thing, I don't know. I think it's a dumbwaiter control panel. I do have an Echo circle line button. I also have this, which these things are super cheap. They're really cheap feeling. I don't like them too much. The Westinghouse bell is under that chair. There so the bulbs won't break or something, because let's just say when my parents come and clean in here, there's always a risk of getting hit by the vacuum cleaner. And I'd rather not have to buy old bulbs off eBay again. Which those are probably the original bulbs from when it was installed. Macy's Firewheel isn't that cheap. That's a nice elevator. It's just the only thing about it is it's that design that Kone makes that's just like, you can order it whenever needed and they'll just come. assembled already. All you gotta do is just like put the floors in. It already comes assembled. It's cheap. I guess we can boot up my editing computer. Which this thing I use to edit pretty much everything that does get edited, which also I'm just gonna say there is gonna be another hotel tour next year because I am going to another hotel. Not Galveston again, I'm going to somewhere else, but I'm not gonna give that out just yet. So people don't like schedule their trips and try to meet me. I have an Apple Watch Series 1. Though soon I plan to get an iPhone X for Christmas, which I really want an X. I don't want any Androids, no thanks. I'll stick to my iPhone X. Because I can have an iPhone X and no one can tell me not to. I also found this picture. Also look at this. This is Collin Creek Mall before they renovated. Look how Collin Creek looked like in the 1980s. Today, as you can see in the stream, it doesn't have a fountain. Like, only this segment right here of the fountain's still here. The rest of it, it's completely gone. They completely got rid of this. Okay, we do not need a software update right now. But as you can see, this right here is Collin Creek in 1981. Which nowadays the mall doesn't look like this. They've renovated it a few times since then. Oh, I also got a picture of the Jewelers Hallway. That's why it has that pointless point, because that used to be a plant. And see, Collin Creek was just a giant fountain in the 80s, but now it's not a giant fountain. Which we can also look at some of the videos that I plan to upload. Well, Texas, you're not allowed to cuss here. And if you do it one more time, that's permanent bans off these streams. Like, yeah, if you cuss, you only get 2 strikes. First strike's a timeout. The second time, you're never coming back. Which, as you all know now, Sears Collin Creek has also been fixed, which Sears Collin Creek used to have EPCO a long, long time ago. Alright, now the sound quality is going to be a bit worse on this. I don't use Skype anymore, sorry. I refuse to chat to anybody. I might even close off my Hangouts account at this point in time. I actually do plan to close Hangouts off completely, like no one else can. I'm just going to block everyone on my Hangouts account and rename it to inactive. That's seriously where it's probably going to end up. Here's the elevators at Campbell Center, which has some beautiful Lexans, though. Unfortunately, the day I went, they were quite busy, but it was a nice system, which tomorrow, I think we're going to look at the Doubletree parking elevator, if I'm not mistaken. No, tomorrow's the Lexan. It's been a while. Let's see here. Let's see, what is tomorrow's update? No, I don't use elevator keys. I don't own any either. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to get some Lexans, and the day after we'll get a Dover with a nice motor, and then we'll just do all the Campbell Center stuff. Well, you can use an elevator key. There's nothing against it. It's not like they can kick you out. It's just not good behavior. Like, if you're allowed to do it, there's no problem. It's just if, the only time you should ever use an elevator key is if you own the elevator, own the place with the elevator, or you own an office where the elevator serves, or if you're just, like, allowed by the building owner, or not if you have an office in the building, not if you're near the elevator, that doesn't count. If the elevator physically opens into your office and no one else's, like it's all your part of your office, then it might be borderline okay. But if you're in the same building and it's not near the elevator, or it's one door down, that's not okay. Now, if you're the landlord, of course, you can use keys all you want. You own the place. Just don't use them if you don't have permission, or to access locked off floors. Those are the two really bad things. Like, turning off a fan, while it is frowned upon, it's not going to kill anyone. The only thing I would say strictly not to do is just don't go to a locked off floor unless you have permission, because some of the stuff on those locked floors, they lock it off so you don't see it. That's the whole point. Otherwise, it's not locked off so you don't go up there, if you know what I mean. They don't just lock it off to annoy you, they lock it off for a purpose. Now, if you're, I don't know. Now, if you work on that floor, yeah, you can go to that floor all you want if you work on that floor. But normally, or if you're working on the elevator, like if I ever, because one day I probably am going to start modernizations, which, yes, I do plan to work for Fujitech under the modernizations. And I will be doing modernizations, of course, which means totally not planning to do Amazing Jakes for Tyson first. But, yeah, I do plan to work for Fujitech, which, of course, doing mods, as I said before. And, like, if you're working on the elevator, you can go to all the locked floors you want, because you're working on the thing. Now, if you're not working on it, that's still not okay. Last time I talked to Floridian Elevators was 2 years ago. Because remember, I quit Skype, I don't use it anymore. Now I only use Skype to contact, like, one person, because I don't have Discord yet. And soon I'm just going to go all the way to Discord. Like, no more Skype, just use Discord, since it's easier, it works properly, and it's finally a decent chat at. Which, you know, let's not ask private questions anymore, Texas Elevators. Let's not. Let's do something that isn't particularly private. Because I'm not sure Julian would like that too much. Like, I would ask for his permission before doing that kind of stuff. Let's not talk about my garage door opener either. It still opens the door. And I still have the remote, so nothing stops it there. Oh wait, who wants to see the camera that started my channel, which, if you watch my River Center video, guess what camera it was filmed on? It wasn't filmed with a real camera at all. It was filmed with this. This is what I used to film the River Center modded video. That very video came off this very phone. Which, I'm probably going to refilm that thing with the TX10 one day. But for right now, this is the camera I used, which, nowadays I don't use this phone anymore. I stopped using this phone years ago, and soon I plan to just, like, go to the iPhone X, which, yes, the rumors are true, I want an iPhone X, and I'm probably going to get one for Christmas. And no, I'm not going to get an Android, no thanks. I'll stick to my iPhone X. You can have your Androids, I can have my iPhone X, works for everybody. Not yet, I plan to get one, though. Because I want an iPhone X. Those things are like my style. Plus, I'm worried that my current phone, the 6S Plus, just won't update anymore. Braces, I'm probably not going to get them. Apparently, my teeth aren't good for braces at all, and apparently they'll fall right off. Apparently, if I got braces, they would probably fall right back off. Which means that I'm exempt from braces, which means I won't ever get them. And thankfully, I kind of like my uneven teeth. I don't mind having uneven teeth, and I don't care what other people have to say. If they don't got any things good to say, do I care? No. Is that I bet that Montgomery Gallery of Dallas is just going to get modernized in the very end, unfortunately, because from what I've heard, Montgomerys are very proprietary, which means they made their own parts, and when Kone bought them out, they discontinued everything for the Montgomery, because they didn't want to keep that stuff going. So it's very hard to find Montgomery stuff to fix it, and because it's hard to fix it, the only parts you're going to get are off an existing elevator that got modded. And you never know why that part was removed. It could have been removed for, it could have been removed because it was unreliable. It could have been breaking down every other day, so no wonder they removed it. Or maybe it was modernized because it didn't work at all, and you just bought a dysfunctional part. Like, you'd have to use the second oil. Not sure if that thing's still broken. Montgomery MyProms are very hard to fix. They're very proprietary, and very few circuit boards still exist for those things. Because I'll say this, the early microprocessor controllers are very hard to source things from, especially if Kone bought out. Like, if Kone bought your company out, one day there's going to be a point, like today, where your controller boards are so hard to find, you can't even get a replacement. They're that rare. Ruby isn't that boring. It's not special anymore. It's just not too boring. Like, it's not too boring. You know, I think I'm gonna hop off too. I better start working on school stuff. Which, no, I don't got homework, but I just gotta do stuff. Which mainly planning out stuff for my summer trip. Which, yes, I'll be filling plenty of vintage elevators over the summer. So yeah, that's it. I'll keep you guys updated as things go along. Yeah, as things come along, I'll keep you guys updated. Expect a few times when I don't upload every day due to the fact that I'm just so busy sometimes. Keep in mind that I'm really close to graduating by like just a year, so no wonder I'm so busy. But yeah, that's it.